Okay, now members, let us see how we solve these trig equations using the T formula. How we use T formula solve such equations. Now, the only thing you need to know here, we take note of the angle relationship between the T and then the angle given in the question. So the relationship is always from trig. I think that's how this one is about, how we generate the T formula. So this is the sign. For sign, this is not going to change. K is the coefficient on the angle given. So this for cos, the T formula for cos is this, and the T formula for tan is that. Then the only thing we need to know that always this T used here, the relationship between the angle and the T formula is we have the angle, the coefficient of the angle given. So get K over 2. That's it. So let's see how do we solve this. They are giving us these questions and then the range, this and then its range, this and then its range. Let us start with this one. So here, we start by getting the relationship. Now, if I compare this, so here our K is 2. So here, we say now, so my K is 2. The coefficient of theta, here and here. So mean that now my T, we said it's going to be tan K over 2 theta, which will be now, my T will be now tan 2 theta over 2. And start from here, my T is going to be tan theta. You start by defining what T is. As simple as that. Using this, you always get the coefficient of theta, the angle given. Now from here, I let's substitute in my angles. I mean my formula for T. For cos, it's always 1 minus T squared. Then plus for sine, or it is the whole is equal to 1. Now from here, so the LCM is the same. So we have now 1 minus T squared plus 2T, the whole over 1 plus T squared equal to 1. Then from here, I'm going to cross multiply. So if you cross multiply, 1 times the whole of this, you get the same thing. So 1 minus T squared plus 2T equal to 2. And I cross multiply, I have now 1 plus T squared. And I think the correct right terms by taking everything this side. So that this one is going to vanish. So I'll be adding now 2T squared, and I take everything that side. Then minus this one goes that side, becomes 2T. When 1 goes this side, becomes 1 minus 1, which will be 0. So that's what now we have. So we can divide it through by T. Then if you factorize out T, we have T minus 1. If you divide it through by 2 from here, T squared minus T equal to 0. Then if we factorize out T, after dividing through by 2, we have this now. When we factorize out T, that's what we have. So either our T is 0 or our T is 1. Prepare this to 0. But now what was our T? Our T was tan theta. So from there, our T is tan theta. So our T, which is tan theta, is 0, or our tan theta is 1. Now, allow me to change this one so that we can be having a really good range. Let me change this range to, okay, let me change my range to, okay, so my range, let me change it to, okay, you can use this all, even if I want to have more angles, so that here, let me change it to 360 degrees. Now, from here, my tan, you see, it's my tan. So get this one, you say theta will be tan inverse of 0, which will be 0. So here, after we shall get 0, or 360. 0, or, you know now tan here, our tan is 0. So meaning, we get tan, you know our quadrats are here. How do we get those angles in those quadrats? This is our first, where we get theta. Then this is 180 minus theta. This is 180 plus theta. Then this is 360 minus theta. So it's like our theta is positive, so we either get here, and then also we come and we get this one in the second quadrant, which will be 180 plus 0. Why? Because if it's 0, we assume it's a positive. Now, when I come to this, you see it's positive in the first and the third. So minus theta here will be tan inverse of 1, which will be 45 in the first quadrant. Then in the second it will be 180. Then plus the acute, which is 45 in the third. So here minus theta will be 45 degrees, comma. Then here it will be 225 degrees. Therefore, all my angles there, therefore my theta is going to be, my theta is going to be 0, 45, comma, 180 degrees, comma, then 225 degrees, and that's it. So that is the range now. If I change it so that all these angles are in that range. Anyway, if I come now, I'm come to this number 4, number 2, where we have 4 sine x, then minus 3 cos x equaling to, is it a 2? Yeah, equaling to a 2. Now what happens there? What we do is we start by defining our t. So that here, from here, our coefficient of x. Now our theta is x. Our coefficient is that here our k is 1. So if our k is 1, it means that now my t is going to be tan of 1 over 2. Remember this one is given by k theta, which will be tan of 1 over 2 theta. I mean that now our t is theta, tan theta over 2. So it's tan theta over 2 from here. Tan theta over 2. So that's the relationship between t and the angle given. But remember, now this would have been the angle, but remember this angle now, we are having the angle given as x. So now we break that to x given. So I have x, so this is x. Now this is x over 2. That's the angle we have now. So after that we substitute. We know what sine is? Sine is 2t over, from there, then minus 3, cos is, these ones, they are not going to change, no matter the angle. What's going to change is how we define t. These ones are the same. Whether this angle is having a coefficient 4, 5, 6, they are not changing. The big formula for sine and cos are not changing. So that if we multiply here, we have ht over, so the LCM is going to be the same by the way. Okay. 1 plus t squared. This one multiplies on the denominator. Then this times this we have now. This times we have negative 3. Then plus this times this we have 3t squared over 1 plus t squared equaling to 2. So from there, so the LCM is the same. So we are having 8t minus 3 plus 3t squared. Then after, we shall cross multiply as we did here. So after the LCM, we shall cross multiply. And we'll cross multiply this. There, you have that. Let us simplify. This will be 3t plus 8t minus 3 equaling to 2 plus 2t squared. And we bring everything this side. When we bring everything this side, we have this 2 is going to give us t squared plus 8t. And bring this side, I get minus 5 equaling 0. Now instead, you're trying to get factors. What you do from here, you use a bulldozer. So that now my t is going to be minus 8 plus or minus square root of 8 squared. Then minus 4 into a, which is 1. Then into b, which is negative 5. The whole over to a. 2 into 1. If you compare that. Now from here, this is where you're going to get a method mark. Then from here, come and get your t. You just get your calculator. And then you get those values. Me, when I press mine, I'm going to be having the first as 0 point. Give them for the small presses. Don't do premature round. So the rest is, the other is 5, 8, 2, 6. Now, this is positive, meaning we need it from the first and the second quadrant. But now, remember our tan is given by that. So we have now our tan x over 2 equaling 0.5826. So then we can get our tan other side. So x over 2 will be tan inverse of this. So here we get 30. So now, all we do, we first get all our angles. We first get all our angles before we do anything. Now, this is 30.23 degrees. Now, you start now my range here. I'm having it from 0 to the 60. But you see here, I'm having x over 2. So they are not corresponding. What I do, I first come and I do this. So my x less 360. That's not the one I'm going to get is x over 2. So I divide through by 2, 0 degrees, x over 2 less 180 degrees. Now, so now this angle I have here is corresponding with this range. What I do now, this is how I'm going to get the angles. Meaning, I'm just getting angles from 0 up to 180, meaning I'm going to use only the first and the second quadrant. So you have to be careful in the range here. Then here, so that if I'm going to this, now you see, it's positive in the first and the third, but in the third, it will be beyond, so I don't consider it. Then that's so meaning this one is going to give us only that angle. When I come now to this, you see it's going to be, it's negative, meaning it's negative in two quadrants, the first and the second. But because the fourth is out of this range, I'm not going to consider it. So here, now my tan x over 2 is going to be negative 8.5826. Where am I getting? Because our t from here. That's why I'm just substituting. So my x over 2 tan inverse of this. Now after identifying the quadrants, you can ignore the sign. So now we say tan here you get 83. Now this is the acute angle. Then it means that if you have that as the acute angle, then the angle you are going to get here is going to be now 180 because it's negative in the fourth and the third quadrant. Anyway, let me first write for you the acute angle that you can be able to follow. So what I'm having as the acute is 83.35. Then we said, because this is not the angle we want, our angle we want is the one in the second quadrant. Why? Because sine is negative in the second and then the fourth. But we say we have to compete for the fourth because it's out of this range. That's why I'm competing for 100, the second quadrant, which will be now 180 minus this acute 35. So here, my x over 2 will be so here I'm getting 96.65. Then if I cross, we first get all the angles before we cross multiply. So now all those are the angles I have. Then I continue to cross multiply. So instead of my x here, it's going to be now 60 point. When I multiply this, I get 6 degrees. And then when we multiply here, it's like our x is going to be 193.3. So those are the only angles we have. So there my x is going to be 16.46 degrees, 193.3 degrees. Now, when I come here to the third, I'm just going to give you a hint on number 3. So number 3, the hint is if we have cosec 3 theta, then plus cot 3 theta equaling to root 3. Now, start from here, we define that our k, from here our k is 3. The arm, the coefficient of the arm. So means that our tan is going to be t, k is 3 over 2 theta. Now from there, so we have cosec and we have cot. So we don't have any cosec and cot, but we have them indirectly because we know that cosec is a reciprocal of sine, and the cot is a reciprocal of tan. So meaning, if I write now for the cosec, I'll be having now, I don't need to write here. So the reciprocal of cosec will be tan, the reciprocal of cosec will be sine. So we will get the reciprocal of this. Now this will be 1 plus 3 squared over 2, then plus the reciprocal of cot. My cot is here, it's reciprocal. I mean the reciprocal of tan will be giving me what? So 1 minus 3 squared, the whole over 2t equaling to root 3. And there you can easily simplify. How? You are going to multiply here. We are having this as 2t plus 2t cumulative, then minus. Is it? This is the reciprocal of cot. Then minus. Okay. Then minus. When you multiply here, you get 2. Then minus 2t squared equaling to 2. Now the whole over 4t equaling to root 3. You see that? Can you simplify? When you simplify, it's that you'll be having, let us cross multiply there. You'll be having this and this. It will be giving you, there not anything like a mistake there. The reciprocal cos, then the reciprocal cosec. Hey, sorry, this was 2t, not 2. That was 2t. That was 2t, sorry for that. It was 2t. I'm going to put it down. So the LCM is the same, so we shall add there. So we have 1 plus 3 squared plus 1 minus 3 squared. The whole over 2t. The LCM equaling to 3. So this and this they cancel. I have this 2 over 2t equaling to 3. See that this 2 cancels, and you see that this will give me 1 equaling to 3 and root 3. So if I bring this side, you see that from here, my t will be 1 over root 3. What is my t? My t from here, my t is going to be now tan root theta over 2 equaling to 1 over root 3. Then if you get the inverse, that our root 3 will be tan inverse of this, it's positive, meaning it's going to be the first and the second quadrant. But because of this range, I'm going to move out the quadrant. So this is going to be tan inverse of this. Tan inverse of this will be 30 degrees. Tan inverse of 1 over 3. So if we cross multiply, that our theta will be multiply here, 860. And multiply here, 860. Divided by 3 be 20 degrees. That will be the solution. So that's why we handle the T formula members. I wish you well.